Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today I'm showing you exactly how to purchase and get exposure to Bittensor TAO subnet alpha tokens. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. Don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin in the description below this video, and let's get into it. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways that you can purchase and take on exposure to Bittensor TAO subnet alpha tokens. But first and foremost, there are a couple of prerequisites that you need to get to grips with. I did make a video earlier, a couple of weeks ago on the channel about how to purchase Bittensor TAO, but essentially, you are going to need to have some kind of on ramp. You're going to need to have the ability to purchase the TAO token itself, first and foremost, for 2 of these options. And then there is a separate option that I'll talk about here where you can use stablecoins directly to purchase Bittensor subnet alpha tokens. But you are going to need some form of on ramp. Okay. In that other video, I spoke about the centralized exchanges that support the Bittensor TAO token. And so if you have a Coinbase, Binance, BitGet, Crypto.com, etc., all of these centralized exchanges support the Bittensor TAO native token and the Bittensor network. So you're going to need to purchase TAO as a native asset on one of these centralized exchanges and then bring it into a self-custody wallet to be able to purchase subnet alpha tokens. Okay, that is the second prerequisite. It's actually withdrawing your TAO into a Bittensor native wallet. Okay, you're going to need that for 2 of these options. The other one you won't. But like I said in that other video, you have a couple of options with those Bittensor wallets. Bittensor.com/wallet is the official Bittensor wallet. And again, this is one that I would highly recommend using. It's very clean, minimal, and effective if you want to use Bittensor in a self-custody manner. The other one I would recommend is Crucible Labs. Crucible are creating a Bittensor wallet that is also able to be added to your Chrome browser, and it can connect to the Ledger hardware wallet. So you're going to be able to secure your funds and have a very secure way of storing your TAO, your native TAO, as well as your subnet alpha tokens. Okay. So they are the prerequisites, especially for this first option, which I'm about to get into. Option number 1, talking about actually purchasing alpha tokens using a DEX like Backprop Finance. Okay. Remember, I've got a TAO wallet here that already has some TAO in it, and I've done that by being able to get it into my self-custody wallet using the Bittensor native wallet. And if I jump over here to backprop.finance, backprop.finance is essentially like a DEX on the Bittensor network that allows you to purchase individual subnet alpha tokens. So again, what I've done here is I've gone ahead and connected this Bittensor TAO wallet directly on Backprop Finance. If I come back to the homepage here, backprop.finance, all you have to do is click on Trade DTAO or click on the Connect Wallet button up here in the top right corner in order to connect your TAO native wallet. Again, you're going to have your TAO in that wallet to be able to trade your TAO for DTAO or for subnet alpha tokens as they are otherwise known. And you can see that if you go into the interface here, it brings up a nice chart for the specific asset in question that you actually want to go ahead and purchase. Okay, so if I click this drop down, you can see it's giving me the ability to swap between native TAO and specific subnet alpha tokens. So with this option, if I search here, I can search any individual subnet. Again, do your own research here, guys. This is not financial advice. You always have to do the fundamental research around specific assets that you might want to purchase. If I search for the Bitcast subnet, again, which I'm bullish on, I've done plenty of videos about Bitcast, it's going to load up the Bitcast chart here on the screen. And yes, sometimes you have to do a little bit of work to zoom in to see the actual most recent price action here on the chart, because we know DTAO and these tokens are priced in TAO and use a lot of decimal points. But this is what the Bitcast chart is currently looking at. Okay. If I want to actually go ahead and purchase Bitcast subnet alpha tokens, you can see here it's giving me the ability to use some of the TAO in my wallet to go ahead and actually purchase Bitcast subnet alpha tokens. Okay. If I zoom out here, you can opt to do a fractional purchase. I could use 0.1 TAO to purchase some Bitcast Subnet Alpha tokens. I can go ahead and do that. The second thing you need to do is you need to consider which validator you're going to be using once you actually purchase those Subnet Alpha tokens. Remember, when you purchase Subnet Alpha tokens, you are staking them in order to receive the staking yield. If you want to get a good pulse on all of that, you can come over to TAO Market Cap or even to TaoYield.com. They're going to give you the ability to understand how much yield you can be generating from specific subnets in terms of their APY. So if I type in Bitcast here, I can see that it's telling me Bitcast is currently pushing 1.7,000%. These numbers are inaccurate on TAO Yield at the moment because of the TAO flow update that happened on the network here. And so using these different validators over on TaoMarketCap.com, I'm gone into the TaoBot validator here. I can scroll down. I can ask it to show 100 rows worth of data here. I can search for the Bitcast subnet. It's going to be on page 2. It's not showing it. But by the time I search for Bitcast subnet and get some of the info about the yield that it's giving, it's telling me that Bitcast is paying about 61% here with the TaoBot validator. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means when I go back to my swap on backprop.finance, I can select the TaoBot validator because I know TaoBot validator is paying 62% APY for me if I use their validator to stake my Subnet Alpha tokens. And so now I've got the swap set up. I can go ahead. I'm swapping 0.1 TAO for 5.9 Bitcast Subnet Alpha tokens. I can see that I've staked it, or I will be staking it, to the TaoBot validator. I can adjust the slippage tolerance if necessary, but I'm happy with slippage being 0.002% with a very low price impact. I click on swap. It's going to open up a separate window in my view here that I'm using to sign the transaction using a hardware device. And again, it's allowing me to set up the transaction. And usually this takes 5 to 10 seconds to process. We can see in the bottom of the screen here, it's receiving the transaction. And transaction has been successful. I just successfully purchased 5.9 Subnet Alpha tokens for Bitcast, and I'm going to be able to see that reflected in my wallet. Okay, that is method number 1 for being able to purchase Bitcast Subnet Alpha tokens. Okay, I like to use TAO stats as well. You can use it for purchasing tokens, but I like to use it for just getting data on all of these different subnets, understanding their emissions, understanding how much their price is changing over certain time periods, and mapping all of that out. The second method for purchasing Subnet Alpha tokens is TaoFi. Okay, TaoFi is a bridge on the Bittensor network powered by subnet number 10, but it actually uses and leverages the Bittensor substrate EVM. So the subtensor EVM is essentially a TAO compatible sidechain that allows you to bridge funds from Ethereum or Solana over to purchase TAO and Subnet Alpha tokens. So I'm on taofi.com/bridge here. And again, this method means that you can connect any EVM wallet. If you have a Rabi wallet, if you have a Solana wallet like a Phantom, or if you have a MetaMask wallet, you can connect that wallet directly here on TaoFi, and you can bridge funds from those networks. It means that if you already have a Solana wallet, you can very easily bridge USDC from Solana over to USDC on TAO by connecting your EVM wallet and bridging it over from Solana. I've used this in the past. It takes literally 1 to 2 minutes for that bridge to come over. And then if you click on the subnets page, you have all of these different individual subnets, again, using the substrate, the subtensor EVM to go ahead and be able to purchase those Subnet Alpha tokens. Okay. Once again, maybe just keeping with our Bitcast example, we can type in Bitcast and you can click on trade here. It's going to bring you over to the trading page where you can then swap or trade, even if you've got funds on Base Network or on the Ethereum network. You can literally use those directly to purchase Bitcast Subnet Alpha token using the TaoFi bridge, and that allows you to get access to that individual subnet alpha token. So again, you're seeing here, if I'm purchasing $100 worth of the Bitcast subnet alpha token, it's loading up the quote for me. I might need to connect my wallet first. I do not. It's telling me I'm going to be able to receive 15.86 Bitcast subnet alpha tokens for those $100. It's giving me the rate. It's showing me the swap time. It's telling me the bridge fee. It's giving me the swap fee, the price impact, the slippage. I can tweak the slippage if I want to make it 0.5%, etc., etc. And this is the second way for you to go ahead and purchase Subnet Alpha tokens. Remember, you might already have an EVM wallet. It will save you the headache of going and setting up your own native TAO wallet, but I do think it's better to be operating on the native TAO network. Yes, you are still getting access to the subnet tokens directly on EVM here or with a Solana wallet. So I do think this is a very good option. And you can actually provide liquidity over here as well if you want to earn extra yield. I have done separate videos on providing liquidity on TaoFi on the channel, so make sure to check those out as well. That is method number 2 for being able to purchase Subnet Alpha tokens. And the third method for today's video is actually using centralized exchanges. Only in the past couple of weeks have we seen centralized exchanges just like MEXC begin to list Subnet Alpha tokens natively on their centralized exchanges. I think this is going to be a very big move over the coming months and years. You're going to see lots of different centralized exchanges jumping on board, listing Subnet Alpha tokens, giving you the ability to trade or swap stable coins directly on that centralized exchange into Subnet Alpha tokens. Everything is ultimately remitted back onto the TAO network itself for those subnet alpha tokens. So it's not like these are wrapped versions or duplicate versions. They are ultimately operating and settling back on the TAO network. But just last week, MEXC introduced support for subnet number 75, which is Hippias. I've spoken about Hippias on the channel here before, guys. You now have the ability to go ahead and purchase the Hippias subnet alpha token directly over here on MEXC. Again, the trading pair here is Hippias paired with USDT. This means that you can avoid the necessity to actually go ahead and purchase the TAO token natively before going ahead and purchasing the Subnet Alpha token, but you can do that method if you're going to keep it native on the TAO wallet. But here, all you have to do is have USDT in your MEXC account, and you can literally take on direct exposure to a subnet like Hippias. In the past few days, we've also seen an announcement for Celium or the Liam token or the Liam subnet to be listed here on MEXC, as well as Shoots, which is subnet number 62, I believe. I'll have to double check that number if we jump over here, 64 once again. So if we type in 64, I'm not sure if it's available yet. It is. I can go ahead again and purchase Shoots subnet alpha tokens directly here on MEXC. Again, you can see this is the hourly chart. We've literally had, if I bring it into the daily, we've had 3 days that this subnet token has been available on MEXC. So this is very, very early, but it's exciting to see that centralized exchanges are beginning to list subnet alpha tokens individually, and you can now purchase Shoots, Liam, and Hippias directly over here on MEXC, with many, many more coming. And I do think you're going to see a lot more centralized exchanges introducing support for subnet alpha tokens to be able to purchase them directly. So that is it, guys. They are the 3 different methods of how you can actually go ahead and purchase individual Bittensor TAO subnet alpha tokens, take on exposure to them. Of course, do the research yourself. None of the information in this video is for financial recommendations. You must do the research. You have to take on the responsibility of looking at the teams, looking at the people, looking at the product that these subnets are building before you take on exposure to them. Because yes, it is very possible those subnets underperform against TAO. Even though you're making very good staking yield, you have to understand the inherent risks involved here. So do your own research, look at the fundamentals, look at the technicals on the chart, but they are 3 different ways that you can purchase and take on exposure to subnet alpha tokens. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that deep dive into how to purchase Bittensor TAO subnet alpha tokens. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please take 3 seconds right now, smash that thumbs up button right under my finger on the screen. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, drop any questions or comments below this video, grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin, and we'll catch you in the next one.